जाने समझे ज्ञान वास्तु शास्त्र का, पृथ्वी अग्नि जल वायु स्थान कहाँ आकाश का।
ओम वास्तु पुरुषाय नमो नमः।
खुद ही समझो खुद ही जानो, कहता है क्या घर आपका।
Right. So that character will get into it. But they say, in India they say that when you do any prayer, you must be facing east. When you cook food, you must be facing east. When you study, you should be facing east. When you are sitting, when you are performing the rituals for marriage, you must be facing east. Whenever you are doing anything pious that is to be done is east. Always facing east, right? So, for studies, it is very important that you face east.
Okay.
So, your son, your daughter can sit here. This is their study table. There is a window here. So, they face east and study. This is the wonderful location for studying. Right. So, if you can happen to give a study table or a study room for your children in the east direction, precisely in the east area, because from here to here, it is an east direction, but it is not precise east. We will explain to you later that why it is not precise east.
Yeah.
All this is east direction, but it is not east.
East.
That is an in-depth understanding of even east, full east.
Definitely.
Okay. So this is a very good direction for east. It is also a good room for prayers, because when you do prayers, it is important that you face east. So it is good room for prayers. Also. So far so good.
But Gyani ji, I would like to ask you a question. Over here also you said we can make this room as a prayer room, and now for this room also you are saying we can make this as a prayer room.
Yeah.
Which one is more suitable?
This is first best, this is second best,
Okay.
this is third best.
Okay.
When I come here, I will again say you can have your prayer room here,
Okay.
and you can have your study room also here. In any case, whether you are here, here or here, you are facing east, right? But I have to give options, because we cannot be rigid.
Yeah.
Because if supposingly you have a garage here, car park here, naturally you cannot put your puja here, naturally your children.
Yeah.
So I have to give options, because the moment I say this can be used as a study room, and if you have a garage room there, you will be stuck. Oh, Mr. Gyani wanted me to have my study room here, but I have a garage there. So we further go ahead and say that, well, if you have your garage here like this or like this, you can still have your studies here or here. So you have to be, the science is a science, but there is no rigidity to it on most of the things, but there are certain things where it is very, very rigid. It doesn't allow you any options. But as far as study, prayer room, other things, kitchen also, there is a flexibility that if you cannot have it here, you can have it in the second best. If you cannot have it in the second best, maybe you can have it in the third. Yeah. But there are situations when there is first best, second best, and there is no third best. So that is something that we are going to discuss. Good, you raised this point, that where to exactly have the study room. So it's optional, because every home is a different home.
Yeah, definitely.
And every home has a different orientation.
Yeah.
So it's going to be, that is why I say you stick to this program, because until the time you happen to see your house on this blackboard, you will not understand. Unnecessarily don't get confused that, oh, Mr. Gyani said this, but you have to see it in totality, right? The whole program has to be watched in totality. Okay. So this was week. This is fame, right?
Yeah.
So now we come to southeast.
Yeah.
So far so good. Do you have any questions here?
No.
No. Okay. So we come to southeast corner, the fire corner, the corner of the Venus. Now the moment we say it is a fire corner, it implies to our mind that, oh, this is a room for kitchen, and which it is. This is a room for kitchen, which it is. So you must be facing east while cooking. Your cooking range has to be here, so that you can stand here and face east while cooking. In US, they have island type of kitchen, where the kitchen is in the center, right? And they have utility platforms.
Okay.
So it doesn't matter, even if you have this island type of a kitchen, You can still be standing here and cooking while facing east. Anyway, we are not talking about kitchen now at this point of time. What we are talking about is what is the characteristic of this corner. The characteristic of this corner is grace. The characteristic of this corner is micro efficiency.
Okay.
Any doctor in his hospital, if he has got operation theatre in the southeast corner, because Venus has a characteristic of micro efficiency, and a doctor, while he is doing a surgery on a human body, what he requires is micro efficiency, because he is handling the nerves and the veins and the bones and the muscles, so many things. Human body is so complex.
Definitely.
Now when he is handling a case, a surgery, he needs micro efficiency.
Yeah.
So when that operation theatre is into the southeast corner, Venus will hold his hand and help him to achieve that micro efficiency. So any doctor who's got his operation theatre in southeast corner, his success rate will be more than 99%.
99%.
He will come outside the operation theatre and say the operation was successful. So friends, that is one characteristic of Venus. The other characteristic of Venus is that there is a lot of grace and ambience in Venus. He is very good looking and he likes to wear good clothes, nicely ironed clothes. He likes to wear a lot of jewelry. He likes to travel only by air. He likes to wear branded clothes. He likes to wear branded shoes. Everything about him is branded. So a person who lives in the southeast corner is a branded person. His tendency is that everything that he wears is branded and that he should look perfect. So his dressing sense is perfect and he is very neat and clean. His office must be very clean. His house must be very tidy. His car must be clean. He will not like a spot on his car. He will not like a scratch on his car. So these are the characteristics of Venus. He will like to move around with the top people, the elite people of the society, and he also considers himself or herself to be the elite of the society. That is his feeling. So all people who live in the southeast room are those people who will try to maximize their status in whatever grade they live in. So in a society, you got A double plus people, you got A plus people, A minus, A and A minus people. Then you got B plus, you got B and B minus. You got C plus, C and C minus. So these are the various brackets of economy in which people live. So there are very, very, very filthy rich people, A double plus. There are very rich people, A plus. Then there are rich people, A. There are less rich people, A minus. Middle class people, B, B plus, B, like that, B minus. So now if somebody is into a southeast corner and he is into B minus, he will try to live like a Venus in that category. Somebody who is, now just because I am in a southeast room but I am a C minus category fellow, I will never be able to live like a A double plus, because I may be sleeping in southeast corner with a C minus economy or finances with me. I don't buy a Lamborghini or what are those cars that very, very Ferraris. I'm not going to buy Ferraris and Lamborghinis, not be able to. But in my society, my car will be the best. In my society, my clothes are going to be the best. So wherever I am in this category, I am going to the best tidy point of view, brand point of view. You get me?
Yeah,
so,
definitely.
So I cannot be, everybody who is in southeast corner will never have Ferrari,
Yeah.
cannot have. But according to the standards, yes, they will have the best car in their community.
In their community.
Yeah, something like that. Okay.
Okay.
So it is about Venus. So Venus people like to be neat and clean, branded, and all those things that I have discussed now.
Can we say people who are facing southeast direction in their house or in their offices, are those people demanding people? They demand a lot from their own self or the people they are surrounded by?
I wouldn't know that, but then I surely know what I was discussing is that their liking is like that.
Okay.
So if supposingly his sister, if supposing I'm living here and my sister brings me a pair of shirt,
Yeah.
right? But then I'll check, and if I don't think it is branded, I may tell her bluntly that I didn't like your choice and this is not my choice. I'm sorry, I don't want it, you give it to someone else.
Okay.
Or I could be polite and say, well, thank you so much, but I'll never wear it.
Okay.
You know, because to me it doesn't suit to wear that color or to wear that brand, so I will not do it. Now I can be blunt, I can be polite, but I can reject it or accept it and never wear it. You get me?
Yeah, definitely.
So I think I've given your answer.
Yeah, sure.
I don't think they will tell, because I'm a branded person, you gift me only so and so brand. I don't think they should be saying this, but then their choice is like that always.
that.
If they have to go and purchase, they will spend like that, right? Now we are going to later discuss about overspending. So my budget is 100K, and because of that brand thing that I have got into my head, if I spend 200K and then go into debts, that is another orientation of Vastu, because so many people do that also.
Yeah.
Because if their salaries are $1,000 or $2,000 and they might spend $4,000 first month, second month, third month, and eventually not being able to pay their credit cards and get into debts,
Yeah.
right? So those are then different orientation where people enter into a financial mess, and they lose their jobs, they lose their homes, they lose their wives, and they lose their children, and they're into a financial mess, and their life is into mess. But that is another orientation. As and when we will discuss the different orientations, combinations, we will at that point of time come back to this point.
Okay.
Right, that will talk about overspending. And most of the people in this world are now overspending because credit card gives them the facility to overspend, and they don't realize, and they overspend.
Exactly.
So then they have to go
Planning things accordingly.
Yeah. Okay, South is evil. When I say South is evil, what I want to just highlight is that South is, the doors in the South are inviting evil energies, because basically this area South is the area of devils, area of evil. So what I want to highlight here to my viewers is that South direction is not supposed to be a good direction, because there's a lot of evil energy there. And but if you have your bedroom here, this is a powerful room. Okay. If you have in your office, if you have your head of the accounts here, it is a powerful room. If this is your room and your son has joined you, and if he occupies this room, it is a powerful room. If your right hand manager, somebody you call, he's my right hand, he's my general manager, he's my vice president, he's my CEO, and if you call him that, and if you have given him this room as an office besides your room, then he is going to perform excellent. This room is a very, very powerful room. South is very powerful only when you sit on this room, only when you sleep in this room. In homes you sleep in this room, in offices you sit in
this room.
So then it is a powerful zone, and one must make a very good use of this room, because when you sit in the South, and if you are facing like this to the north, what are you facing? You are facing money. So in business, this room will help you a lot. But all the same, if in the same room you have got your staff sitting, some says like this,
so they are facing south.
They are facing south. So this negativity, this evil energy is looking at them, and this negativity is going to give them negative thoughts, and whatever work they will do against the organization.
Okay. They'll not
Right.
succeed even.
They may succeed because they are facing the south direction, they are facing the evil direction, and whatever they are doing, they are employed by the company, they are supposed to do good for the company. But if they are facing south, they will not do good for the company, they will only do good for themselves. Or even may not do good for themselves, they don't care,
Yeah.
but they want to do something bad for the company. So people facing south in the south room are going to bring some losses for the organization. So in any organization, it is very important that all of our staff is either facing north or facing east. Make sure that people do not face south or face west, because west is again lethargy. You are paying them, but then they are not performing. Right? So we are talking about
south.
So basically, what I wanted to highlight here, when I wrote evil, I've written evil on most of my literature also, because I want you to know that the side of the south, the direction of the south, is not a positive side.
Okay.
Is not a positive direction. If you face it, if your door faces it, if your main gate faces it, or if you are working while facing south. But otherwise, if you sit in south facing north or facing east, it can work wonders for you.
Okay.
Now let us come to the southwest corner. My friends, you can probably read here, I have written stability. Is someone going to highlight this? So friends, what we are going to discuss is the most important corner of the whole house, of the whole office building, of the whole factory building, of the whole warehouse, any structure. North, east, southwest, southwest corner. Southwest corner, I say, is stability. So there are n number of reasons that why it provides stability to a human being. Let me explain to you, my friends. The head of the Vastu man is in the northeast. This is his elbow, this is his knee, this is his feet. This is his elbow, this is his knee, and this is his feet. And this is the spinal cord. Are you clear?
Yeah.
Okay. Now, all the effort that I put in is on my feet. All the running around that I do, either I'm a salesman, or even if I'm a manager or a chairman or a vice president, whatever I am, what I do is on my feet. Right? I take decisions by my head, but the running around is to be done
by feet.
By feet. So the feet of the Vastu man are here.
Yeah.
Okay. Jupiter is here. Okay. So Jupiter is what? He is a god. He is a priest. He is a good man. Right. Now Jupiter never looks like this. He has a diagonal vision. So he looks here.
Okay.
So there is a saying that when a priest looks into your eyes, he blesses you abundantly.
Okay.
When a god looks at you, he is blessing you abundantly. Right. But Uranus, the devil, is also here. And this god, Jupiter, he does not differentiate between man and devil. Because he says, man and evil, man and devil, both are my creations.
Yeah.
So he says, both are my children. And because I am God, I cannot differentiate between two. Because I am God, I have to have the same vision for everyone. I cannot say he's good, he's bad, he's good, he's bad. How can a father differentiate between his two children?
Yeah.
He cannot.
He cannot.
Right. But a father, a human being father, maybe, but a God father will never do that. Right. So God says, I have no difference between the evil and a human being. So he says, both are my children. Both are my
own kids.
Creativity.
Yeah.
Right. I created them and I'm proud of both.
आओ जाने समझे ज्ञान वास्तु शास्त्र